My name is Brandt. I'm the Chief Product Officer for ZK South Africa. So looking after basically all of the products under our umbrella sort of comes to my department, for the innovations department, where we test them, put them into market, and then obviously get that feedback from you guys out there to know exactly, listen, where is our market going to? So some of the products that we've decided to do today is actually more focused towards the solutions, where we've got the ZKBio CVSecurity as our hero and our core program for this. Okay, so what the agenda, the content, what we're going to do today is obviously we're going to go through some of the security modules. I'm launching a brand new controller today called the ZKBio PC 400 and 800. There's a new slave device as well, the KR 900. Then we're going to do our HyperSync SIP server, where actually for the video and for VoIP calling and so forth to your app, that type of thing. And then some of our server cabinets, as you can see here. And then very, very excited for our ZK partner app that's officially being launched today. Okay, so as we go through, you'll see what we actually going to offer and so forth. I'm just going to quickly show a short video of sort of a symbiotic type of environment where CV as your champion is actually going to go. All right. Okay, so as you guys can see there, with ZKBio CVSecurity, it's a phenomenal piece of software. You know, where all of these modules can basically be added onto a current system with current devices, hardware and so forth that is on their premise already, or with an add-on, upsell and so forth to make it a full-on smart solution, building, estate, be it whatever that you want to implement this solution into. So I pulled out a couple of the modules, highlights and so forth. Obviously, if we have to sit here, I can keep you busy for hours and hours with all of the modules. But I want you guys to grasp the effect of what CV is, how much of a tool you can use this to either secure, automate, and make it a more smart solution within everything. Okay, so like I said, this year marks the 10th year that biosecurity, as it started off in 2015, and as we moved on, where it was a pure access control and TNA type of solution, where it grew into the monster it is today. Right, where I've got all of these type of modules, so from May 2015 up until June now when we released 660, and up until last month we on module 663 as the core function of this software where we are. So what's new with version 663? Right, so within our intrusion alarms, so our intrusion alarm system is basically our alarm panel that links to our software. Any third-party perimeter or your peripherals that you actually add on, be it a smoke detector, be it so forth. The guys from the Neutron and so forth, they've got TACX, the guys got IDS, Paradox and so forth. All of those peripherals can be built onto our alarm panel, right? But we need our core board basically to make it smart and put it into our CV at the end of the day. Then audio broadcasting is brand new. I'm actually still waiting just for some of the equipment where I can link this to a full broadcast system. You know, it's not an intercom system, it's a PA system, public announce system, where that audio broadcast and so forth can be linked into my fire alarms, my intrusion and so forth, where if there is an emergency, to have an audio alert, not just an alarm and so forth. So okay, cool, this is a assembly point, that type of scenario, you have to go to your assembly points and so forth for the intrusion with the audio broadcasting. Then AI video analytics, as you saw in the video there, we've got a referred to the Edge, the IVA Edge X1 smart box, but basically an analytical box that actually takes any video stream of an IP camera through the RTSP protocol. I put it into that analytical box and I can make it full AI. Right? So there's a load of specific type of algorithms and smart scenes that I can actually add to that analytical box for that. Then the ZK's mobile app. So the ZK's mobile app, I pulled out a little bit, and the guys will show you as well when we do some of the demos and so forth, that side, what you can do with the app. So the app is basically where I can go and invite my visitor. I can do my mobile clocking and so forth, everything from the mobile app. The video conferencing and so forth as well, where app to app, you can actually dial through the app to app function as well. All right. And then the emergency roll call. It used to be called muster points, where emergency roll call now gets basically pulled into entirely to the intrusion side and so forth, where that can have a full-on assembly point check to see where was the person last clocked, who's safe, who was on premises, who's not on premises, or where was the last clock that specific person well, and then with the video and the AI and so forth, can link everything together and go and look for that specific person at the last point where that person actually exited or entered a specific area. Good. So, the ZK's mobile app. So like I mentioned, I pulled out the feature for instance, the mobile clocking. It's a little bit new for this specific type of, for the app, where I can do my clocking, I do my attendance, I can request leave approvals and so forth, and then it goes through a process and it gets approved by senior how you set up your steps for that software. Visitor invitation, you can either do a direct access or it must be audited. So I do a selfie registration and so forth. It will go to a reception point and so forth. It needs to be audited, yes or no, or auto allow specific areas. When you do get to a reception, from there I need to be audited to say where is my next step, where I'm going to go to. Okay. So the mobile clocking, we can do geofencing on it. So if you need to have the guys in a specific area, it does geo-clocking and so forth, where a lot of drivers and that type of thing can use this utility as well when they do deliveries, clock in at that, clock out as you deliver and so forth, to know exactly where your specific people are. Okay. Reps don't like this because I know I like to move around a little bit, but yeah, you can do full geo-clocking, geofencing and so forth with the mobile clocking device. You can do attendance calendars, so all of your calendars and everything can be seen and done from the mobile app. You know exactly where your employees are, who's on shift, who's not on shift, and you can then pull the reports, everything from the one app. Attendance requests, like I mentioned, either I missed the clock in, I can go and make up clock. So I can go and punch there and ask for approval if I did miss a clock, and then can be approved by a manager and so forth, can be referenced by a video and so forth if the person was in or out in that specific facility. You can request for leave, business trips, outings and so forth. This can all be customizable to see what type of request I want to be actually asking for. Then goes to the approval process, like I mentioned, so the application type, and then goes to either line manager, HR, and so forth to get approved through the steps. And then it gets approved, and then you will get your reporting and so forth. So there's a couple of questions always, why does the mobile attendance function and so forth? It's mainly applied for that geo-clocking, for the guys working from home. I mean, a lot of us, there's the choices of hybrid working and so forth, but you're not going to put a physical device somewhere, so they can do a mobile clock on it and that geofencing there, you know exactly, okay, cool, the person is exactly where it needs to be. Okay. Then others prevent the priority for proxy clocking. So as you sign in, your user ID that is connected to a device, if you go into a building, that ID will be your username and so forth and the password created to get into your clock. You can't have multiple people on one app. Right? You have to sign out, sign in, sign out, sign in. But you can only have one method of clocking in that one device. Different mobile attendance functions, like I mentioned, there is access, there's Z-Link and so forth. Z-Link is more for the European market and the Asian market. We in South Africa focus on the Zexus part of things. And then so forth. Some of the other questions, I'm sure there will be some questions. We will be afterwards in the EC and so forth to answer everything as you guys need it. Then, the emergency roll call. So, I really like this function. You know, for any system, you already have the functionality where you do the access control and so forth installed on that premises. Add the emergency roll call. It's a little module, you add it, you use your current devices to basically do that roll call for you. We've got the mobile H1 device as well that can act as that clocking device. So that will be your roll call point. So I don't have to have a physical device installed there. I can have my H1 mobile device and use that as my roll call clocking in at my emergency call points and so forth. All right. So you'll see the old version used to be called muster point, where now it's all emergency roll call, where it sits under the new version of the software. It will be under the service center, where it gives you a perfect graph and so forth, and then I can do geo-mapping and so forth to pull it in with the CCTV to know exactly where that specific clock in person is. Okay, so that's what I say, emergency evacuation. So where I've got my main premises, I can either have a physical device or the Mahodas H1, or through the X1, the analytical box, I can utilize it with my video intercom, my video side of things, my CCTV for facial recognition, to get that as well in there for the attendance calling. All right, so emergency evacuation, like I said, configure your main entrances, you do all of that, and then obviously from there, your evacuation, you get your reporting, everything is a live system. Right. Remember, BioCV can be hosted on premises or it can be hosted off premises. It is full web. So I just with either a domain or public IP, wherever that software is devices just points to, so it does not have to be on premises. You can run it off-site, and multinational companies and so forth can run one server. Right. So after you've done that upgrade and so to that, what do I need? What's the advantages and so forth? So obviously, precise roll calling. I know exactly where people are. It's not, yes, roll call like we know it, so forth. This is for emergency evacuations. For the rest of the stuff, you can do time and attendance and that type of thing. What we're launching today is what we refer to as our InBio PC 400 and 800. 400 meaning 4-door controller, 800, 8-door controller. This is a full rack mountable device. So it's an industry first design where we full hybrid biometric through PoE, rack mounted, you pop your device within your cabinet and you run one cable towards my DE10 slave reader, controller for that door, and you wire as you would do a normal in-bio controller, either with a KF1200 facial, a slave reader card, fingerprint 12, the F12, the F1500 and so forth, all still function. It wires exactly the same, but my cost on cabling is way lower. Right. So as you see there, PoE, and then I'll get to the Wi-Fi and the app configuration as well from the device as we go through. So, initial setup, traditional controller setups and so forth. I've got my controller, I've got my power supply. I have to then run cable towards my lock, my door, my device, everything from there. So it becomes quite bulky and a big installation. So you'll see at the bottom there with all of your power supplies that I'm looking now for a 25 or 50 or whatever door solution. I mean, it's a lot of power supplies, it's a lot of areas, a lot of cable and so forth for that installation. Right? So what we did is we simplified it. Pop your unit into the your cabinet and within that area, and then up to 100 meters and so forth, I can wire my DE10 to that specific door where everything runs from that one device. Right. Now the question is, okay, cool, can I power that device separately? Yes. What happens if the network goes down? Everything is still stored on my controller. So it will function as normal. You don't always need it to be on and so forth. It can function separately. Okay. If the link to my software goes down, same. It will still function as normal because it functions as a normal controller. Okay. With this additional, like I said, one wire connection, and then from there, just wire my doors to my device with my slave readers, and so works quite simple, easy, and more affordable at the end of the day. Okay, less headache, less cabling, and all that type of thing. So as you'll see there, the little graph at the bottom, I've got my devices, plug it right straight into the unit. I can then, with the web server, the Wi-Fi access point from my phone, set that device up. The device has got a hotspot built in. So as I open my Wi-Fi, the serial number will basically be the SSID of that specific device. Pop in there. Admin is your default, use their password, so change that obviously after your first login. Set it up, and I can view my whole device from my mobile or from my laptop. I don't have to go put IP addresses, port addresses and so forth, port forwarding, make sure no safe searches on this, that type of thing. Not necessary. Through the AP, through the access point, set up, took me about 10 minutes. The first time I took it out of the box without any prior knowledge to the device, 10 minutes I was up and running. Together with this device, I'm launching a new slave device that we refer to as the KR900. The KR900 is a dual frequency device that does RFID and MyFair with other different devices, the different versions from a 901, 902 and so forth, either keypad and card, full vegan, OSDP, so it can be run with tamper-proof and full IP65. Okay, so it's a one device where I've got, say for instance, there's a site guys are ripping out the Impro system or so forth and pop it in, they don't want to get rid of their 1,000 cards, there's your device. proper device, it will still function as a normal MiFi or RFID dual frequency device. So basically everything that I said now is in this. This is, I'm actually very, very excited about, is the HyperSync SIP server that we've actually got into our system now. So it's a full VoIP video and web management with the intercom, everything built into one server. Right? So you'll see it was a SF5050 and a VS50-100. What does that mean? 50 IP cameras, 50 VoIP or SIP server licenses, or 50 IP and 100 SIP licenses. So it's 100 devices where I can then go and either phone device to device, physical unit to intercom. Remember, most of our facial devices, the SpeedFace series, the SenseFace 2As and so forth, got the functionality for video intercom. But I want video intercom to controller, to the VTO, or to the Zexus app directly. This actually managed that. Video being pulled into, go together with my access control devices and so forth to do an overview. I've had a request in a week where a guy had a scenario, exactly called this, I'm looking for a solution for a prison. But the guys, when they do come through the video phone now, they're standing very close to it and they're trying to force people into the door. Now I've got an overview camera to see together on my VTO, on the inside, or to the mobile to see that specific video feed from an external camera. So with this, the multi-protocol video access support multiple protocols with the ONRIF, the RTSPs, so to make it easy to connect any video. Right? You do not have to buy my product. The cameras, the CCTV products, I would prefer it, but if a site is already existing with a HEC or a DAWA or whatever system, we brand agnostic towards CCTV. Right? If it's ONRIF or RTSP protocol, I can pull this into our system and it will function. Great. The video intercom, like I said, based on SIP protocols, supports the voice and the video calls and so forth, either to your mobile or to physical hardware devices that we've got in the EC, and we'll show you guys exactly everything in there. Management of the grouping, so I can basically bulk import a lot of the settings for that device and actually set all servers. You don't have to go 1. I do a bulk import of all my devices and I set them up for the specific extensions and so forth that's been set up. And then recording and capturing, so on a device and so forth, if there is an alert or a forced open and so forth, it acts as a secondary storage device for that event. So if somebody takes out the NVR, when they do break in or whatever, it still gets stored there with the snapshots and so forth on that specific device. So there's your symbiotic, well, the ecosystem, how we can do it. So because of the VoIP system, I can do with two-way radios. If the radio is VoIP enabled, I can do that through the intercoms and so forth to get that two-way communication with the video, intercoms and so forth, everything lekker. All right, so as it's set up there, quite straightforward. From the device, plug it in the internet, we link it to the software, and all of my devices, I can just link it into that one unit and Bob's your uncle. Again, it's then with API integration for third-party type of solutions, we do provide the API for free for that. So if they do want to integrate to a third-party software and so forth, we can do that to distribute to that for that as the middleware. So what is it? So unified VoIP system, like I mentioned, differences with the licensing, 50 cameras, 50 SIP servers, or 50 and 100. And then supports integrated software, yes, obviously they integrated directly to our software or via API. Then there's not much to explain here with the server cabinets. We've got a full range that we actually imported now from a 4U all the way up to a 42U. All right, 9U swing cabinets that you'll see in the EC. There's the choice to have the metal mesh doors in front, all of your brush panels, your platelets, everything will be available through our cabinets. Then, very, very, very excited. So what I want you guys to do as well today is go and look on the App Store. You'll see the ZKBio Partner app is live and launched and so forth. What we can do with this is going to be goal-changing, life-changing and so forth for a lot of the technicians out there as well. So what you do is you sign up your company as a whole, right? So say for instance, I do have brand security, doesn't really matter. I'm the owner, I'm the administrator, all of my guys underneath me, if I've got the one app registered onto it, I then invite you from that to join my organization. So not every single person has to go and register one by one. I go and register one main company, and then from there I substitute, and all of my employees will be under one umbrella, right? Be it an OEM, be it an installer, be it a distribution channel, you'll see there will be certain sections for this. Right. So what can we do with it? So mainly to do product. We want to showcase all of our new products, right? I want a solution library. So I upload all of the solutions that we currently do within the whole ZK South Africa and so forth. You can go and look up a solution. Salespeople, this is a brilliant tool for you to go out and say, okay, cool, listen, this client is looking, he is in military. I want a military type of solution. What type of products do I have to look for? I go and look at the solution library. It will list everything you've got there, right? Frequently asked questions, the frequently asked questions and so forth. There's millions of questions that we already put in there. So listen, okay, cool, if a C3 plus does not work with this, what can I do? Gives you a solution. And there's AI built into this unit as well. I can ask the physical app a question. How do I set up an F-35 with a VTO7 intercom? It will tell you step by step how to do that. Okay. Case studies. So that's something that we will do. And that's something that I want you guys to bring to us, is case studies. I've done a wonderful estate and so forth. Let us come out, let us go and do that case study with you. We will put your company on our app and so forth to get even more exposure. Right? That's where the case studies and so forth comes in. Okay. Then Video Hub. So you'll see as now, I think I uploaded 97 videos of BioCV, for instance. How to, from adding a license, installing the software, all the way straight through how to set up emergency roll calling. Everything will be on the app. Okay. It will take a lot of time away from sitting on phones, trying to get through to a technical advisor and so forth, where you can do a self-check. It will tell you step by step what to do. Very, very, very big thing for me is to launch this, is to get that targeted audience as well. So when we do have an event like this today, you will get a push notification sent by us inviting you specifically. Right? If it's a installer day for a workshop, how do we set up something new product and so forth, we will do direct marketing to say, okay, cool, you as an installer, come to our facility, we've got an open day for installation. It's not just a product day. All right, so that's where the partner app is very, very, very cool. Okay. And then, yeah, so sharing and collaboration and so forth, and you'll see after a while, if you are a very well placed installer and so forth, we can add you to that. So if there is something that the guys, okay, cool, I'm looking for an installer in Patsonavata, who's the closest. Okay, so it will be on there. And then instant product lookup, like I said, daily industry updates, one-stop solution, and that's up. Everything will be in the palm of your hand to make it as easy as possible for you as our client. Okay. You will see in the next foreseeable future, we're going to start doing podcasting. So with Hendrik, our MD, and with us as head of products or specific salespeople, clients, and so forth, we're going to do that podcast that we're going to launch on there, to get that the industry insight with the whole partner app. Okay, we want to be engaging towards you, and we want to put as much knowledge in the palm of your hand to go out and be as confident in selling our product as I am passionate about our product. Okay. Client success stories, like I mentioned, frequently asked questions, and then the massive video library that I've already added in there. And that's me.